Dennis here, drumming you up a new video. I hope you're doing okay during this time, and I hope everyone's had the opportunity to do something new or creative. With my new updated channel, I wanted to present to you some compositions I've wrote in the past. First of these videos is one of my favorite compositions I've ever wrote. So here's a little backstory. I do a lot of private teaching, and there comes a point where I have my students prepare for a recital. Because I have so many students varying in ages and playing abilities, it's sometimes challenging to find the most perfect piece for that student, especially at the beginning level. When I consider a piece for a student, I want it to be not only engaging for the student to play and learn, but also for the audience. So what happens most of the time is I have to write a new piece for that particular student. And the piece will cover whatever we're working on during that time. This was also the student's first time playing in public. And usually what happens in the first recital is I play with them. We do a duet so that when they're on stage, they have someone they're playing with. They don't feel alone or scared on stage, and there's an anchor for them to hold them. This piece, I think, went through about 5 or 6 different phases of me editing the piece along the way for each student that had their hands on this piece. I kept coming back to the piece and adding more new and fun things for the student to perform. The piece first started out as a snare drum solo, or it really was just a string of 8th note rhythms for snare drum. I then transformed the piece using the same rhythmic ideas, but I transferred it to 2 toms. So the student can not only look in the music scene, there's 2 different notes on the staff, but they know the difference between high and low. Since I kept the same rhythmic foundation, it was easy to go ahead and transfer over to the 2 toms. I called the piece Wild Man at first, but the student I had, when he got really excited, the stick heights would be a little too high and he got a little crazy. So I was like, man, this piece is great for you. It's the Wild Man solo. The next time I came to the piece, I realized the toms weren't adding that much to the solo, and I wanted to do something a little more engaging for that piece. So I decided to add some congas. Using congas, this really opened the opportunity for now hand drum techniques. Even if they didn't have a conga at home, they could still use their drum pad and pretend that they are playing different zones of the conga. I then introduced the idea of soloing. We first started out with call and response. We also talked about storytelling in your solo, wanting to say something. Just moving to congas created much more learning opportunities for the student, and still wasn't overwhelmed because we still kept the same note structure as what we originally intended with 8th notes and the quarter notes and the rest. But the next time I came up to this duet, I even wanted to add more. I don't know why I kept adding stuff. Just kept coming back to it. It's like George Lucas in Star Wars, just doesn't know how to stop touching it. Just leave it alone. But I'm hoping I made it better each time, so I added a cajon to the picture. And people who know me, I may say I have an obsession with cajon. As you can see above me, I have 3 right here. So with the cajon, now it started becoming more of a multi-percussion solo with using cajon. Each player had their own cajon, and then we shared the congas together. I thought that was such a cool idea for the students, so it would almost be like I'm facing off with the student. Or it was almost like they're playing with the reflection, hence the new title of the piece, which was called Wild Reflections. I think the last time I came up with it, I added bongos to the mix. So now we had cajon, congas, and bongos with this very unique piece. I hope you've enjoyed a little bit of this explanation of the piece. This piece is simple rhythmically, but the challenge comes in its coordination, and then of course keeping track of what drum you're playing, what sound should you be using in each drum, and different proper techniques for each hand drum. Every time I come to it, I thoroughly enjoy teaching this piece, and every student that's ever played this duet has thoroughly loved and actually one of their favorite pieces they've played with me. If you're interested in playing this piece, my email will be down in the description if you want the sheet music for it. I know we're currently practicing social distancing, but it shouldn't stop you from playing a duet. You can either do what I did, which having 2 videos and kind of spice them together. Special shout out to my brother for helping me edit this video. I think it really turned out really well, and I'm really excited to share this video with you. So please enjoy Wild Reflections. And as always, keep on drumming.